All right, so Tristan, our childhood is dead.
But
Toy
it's coming back.
No, no, no. Toy Story is dead. Long live Toy Story. So apparently
Uh,
we
no,
this is what's
okay.
going on right now. Okay. So apparently a lot of insiders were they were pushing this idea and they were talking about these I want to say premonitions, no, it's these it was predicted, this movie, Toy Story 4, that we're talking about right now, to be this huge hit. And oh my God, it's Toy Story. This thing is going to get, we have the numbers in front of us. We posted the articles in the chat down below. Watching this on YouTube, they're in the description box. Toy Story was supposed to be projected to open with $165 million. That's one of the numbers. So 165. Smallest was 149 mil. Largest was I could swear largest was even higher than that. Was like in the 200 mil or something along those lines. Might not be in these exact articles, but either way, Toy Story did open up. Sadly, quote unquote, sadly. Oh, poor Toy Story 4 opened up to. Or at this point, rather, as we're doing this on June 29th. It has $178,989,809, and that's domestic. So poor Toy Story 4. Clearly, it's going to burn and die a horrible death because it didn't make $1.7 billion like Avengers Endgame. Uh, no,
Yeah.
but really, though, all jokes aside, right? I'm half kidding here, but seriously, looking at worldwide numbers here, it bumps it up to $302,604,815. So, and we don't, of course, don't know how much of a cut each theater is giving. We do know that when looking at foreign numbers, so foreign is 123 mil. When looking at foreign, it does cut a lot farther down, so it's a rather bigger cut. So you're not going to have a decent chunk of that money going to Disney slash Pixar. But my problem is this, Tristan. So my problem is that, putting aside the fact that this is a sequel to a franchise that, in my opinion, was already finished, a great closer with Toy Story 3, even putting that aside, even putting aside the budget, which we'll get to in a second, why does every movie nowadays have to make $8 trillion
Yeah.
to
No,
feel as if it's a success?
it's getting irritating at this point.
It really is, because you keep on hearing, oh, it's a summer flop. Oh, it's a blockbuster flop. Oh, why aren't they doing as well? And it's like, you sit there and you're just like, maybe it's because we're smaller creators, so you can call it sour grapes, guys, if you want. But like hearing the phrase, the movie made $178 million, it's like, oh, that sounds great. And it's like, oh, we're sorry to tell you, if you go on, you look at Toy Story 4 on Wiki, apparently the budget, did you know what the budget was, Tristan, for Toy
No.
Story 4? 200 million.
Well,
And I believe that is before merchandise. Not merchandise, I'm sorry, before promotion. So, like,
right.
posters,
Yeah.
not even putting out the trailers, but like putting them on TV, stuff like that. $200 million. I have this odd feeling that $199 million was spent on Tom Hanks alone. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, national treasure, but the what is going on here? $200 million, and the animation looks gorgeous. Don't get me
Oh yeah.
wrong,
No, it does definitely.
beautiful, beautiful. But $200 million on this film, it's the fourth in the franchise. And yet everyone, and we're talking about people in the industry here, is like, well, of course this is going to do well as Toy Story. And it's like, it's not taking, in my opinion, the fans into account. Now, I should note, people who have gone to see the movie do like it. So I'm not in any way criticizing the plot of the movie, but clearly not enough people are going to see it,
Right.
quote unquote, not enough for them to get their return on that investment. And here's what's interesting too, Tristan. So I looked at the numbers for this one. I wanted to get real fact heavy. I looked at the numbers for the original Toy Story, right? The budget was 30 million. So compare that to 200 for a second. 30 million, and the box office return was 373.6 million.
Right.
But of course, we have to take inflation into account. So I looked at the inflated numbers, and the budget, 30 million, turned out to be 50 million. So not that much compared to the 200 million.
Yeah.
And then when looking at the return, 631 million
Right.
when used, when put into the inflation calculator that we have here. So the fact is that it's just, people talk about people saying sequelitis. Well, Yeah, I mean, after a certain point, especially if it feels as if there's a trilogy or that the films are complete. I mean, I feel like movies and TV shows are only coming back and working because many of them have ended very poorly at
Right.
their time. Like, look at something like Full House. Are you a fan of Full House, Tristan?
Not personally,
All right,
but I've
Heathen,
seen a little bit.
Heathen.
Even okay.
So, yes, Heathen. That's blasphemous. You will be banished to TGI Fridays.
I mean,
Uh,
I'm why?
oh no, not the restaurant. That's what the block that it aired on for ABC at the time. TGI
Oh,
Fridays. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was TGI Fridays. Am I wrong, guys? Tell me down below. But anyway, so the point though is that with Full House, it ended. I don't know if they were told they were getting canceled or it just came up, but it ended in a way that was completely unresolved. Versus Fresh Prince of Bel Air, where they actually had like they were moving out of the house. They had a group hug.
right,
Everyone was there. So even if sadly, because some of the cast members from Fresh Prince of Bel Air have passed away, even if they haven't, I would still feel odd about bringing the show back because they ended it perfectly. But
right,
something like Full House, they never had any type of resolution. There was never a big thing that could like end the show that could shake them all up. It was just kind of like, yeah, the big thing, quote unquote, was Michelle ran away from home. Oh no. And then Michelle learned the value of not fucking doing that. And that was it. Like, Michelle learned, don't fucking do that. Bam, the show ended. Like, there was nothing resolved there, in my opinion. So then the show comes back. X-Files, very poor end. But a lot of people said they did not like the ending. So
yeah.
X-Files came back. God, another show did that too. Twin Peaks.
That didn't end too well either.
Yeah, Twin Peaks didn't end too well either. They brought it back. So I feel like the thing that maybe some executives aren't getting is, while you can mine our nostalgia, don't get me wrong, you can do
Yeah,
that. Like, get in the veins for the nostalgia. Get in there. Get in there. What matters more is if a show or a movie or something ended poorly. And Toy Story 3, while it has been 9 years, did a very good job of wrapping everything up.
yeah. Like that's the thing. Like you know, I love Toy Story, and the first one is probably one of my top favorites as a kid.
Mm.
Like I love this series, and I love seeing the characters come
And
back.
interestingly enough, Tristan does want to go see the movie. So it's
Yeah,
not like, but there's also that thing too. Some people might be like, I want to go see it. And sorry to interrupt, but some people are like, I want to go see it. But then guess what? We've talked about this before with Godzilla King of the Monsters. Just a lot is coming out.
yeah,
So even though numbers are down across the board, you have some industry insiders saying, still, you're going to have people split up. Like I can't wait. I want to talk to the person. I feel like they're in our friend group who goes, I wanted to see Toy Story 4, but Child's Play opened that same weekend. So I
right.
wanted to see, Chucky.
Yeah, yeah.
It actually just opened. You know who's Chucky, right?
Yes, I do.
Good.
I've been
Good.
seeing just clips of him doing various voices and everything, and it's been glorious. Mark Hamill, by the way, if you didn't
Yes.
already know.
Yes. But anyway, so yeah, so you love this franchise, but it felt like a good closer, right? That's
Right,
what you
and
were.
again, like
Yeah.
3 felt like it wrapped everything up so perfectly, and
Yeah.
it was such an emotional wrap up too.
Yeah.
And like the one thing that I heard from a friend of a friend, they were like, I cried my eyes out. And then he goes and it's like, oh, and that wasn't all. Also, my father, who does not cry at movies, also bawled his eyes out. So
So
I'm
this
like,
person has not been on the channel, so we can't say their name. Damn it!
so
I
I'm
would
like,
love to blast. Just put that person and be like, it was so and so. But no, because it sounds like something Anthony would do.
it was a friend of Anthony's, yes.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if I can handle that again. Like from Toy Story, like I already got that emotional gut
Well,
punch.
apparently this isn't supposed to be that. This is the cool down afterwards. So it's not gonna. No, it is. You're not gonna like cry like that.
Right. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle that again, guys. Like,
Yeah.
don't know if I have it in me.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, again, like if you have, I've been hearing again making the rounds. If you have kids, yeah, they're dragging you to the movie, so that's good. But again, these numbers are not good, quote unquote. But again, that much money, right? Close to 200 mil. should not be something to sneeze at. And yet, because the budget was 200 million, now it's considered a flop.
Right.
I don't
And
know.
I feel
I
like
just
that's like the movie
yeah
industry for almost anything at this. There's going to be a burnout. Like
yeah
you're
of some
not gonna
type.
be able to keep up. Something's going to give,
Yeah,
and
and
then who
yeah.
knows what will happen at that point? You know?
No, it's definitely frustrating for me, I think, because even putting the burnout aside, it's just frustrating to hear X was a flop when it's making not only so much, but and not only people are enjoying it apparently because they are, but you
Right.
just kind of look at this and you think, and I'm pretty sure I've said this to you on air. If I haven't, well, here we are now. I'm pretty sure I said mentioned why was this not an incentive for the streaming service? Now I know I'm not saying it should be 200 mil. You'd obviously bring the cost down somehow, somewhere. You'd find a way to bring that down. But why was this not an incentive for the streaming service with a limited release to maybe get some people interested, but try to drag them into the service if they couldn't catch it limited? And maybe that's what they're thinking because I don't know if this is going to be available on the streaming service day one. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, they're releasing this really far ahead because that streaming service isn't supposed to be out till what, October, I believe? Because that's when the Mandalorian's dropping.
Yeah. Something
Yeah,
like that.
so it's not coming out till October. I just, it's just frustrating. Yeah, there's definitely going to be either some type of collapse or burnout. Something's gonna go wrong because, and I don't know what necessarily can change that because I'm not saying I don't want people out of work. I don't want people working on less movies. I love that in that regard. You know, people are having steady work and there's a lot of movies out there and everything's going well. But it's just something's going to have to give. Budget's
Yeah.
going to have to go down somewhere. And it's not just here, too. You're having it in video games as well, where you just have a situation where, you know, these games are coming out. They look amazing, great, but things get split up to the point where you're like, wait, I'm not actually paying for a $60 game anymore. I'm paying for a $200 game. Or in some cases with loot boxes, even more. And it's like, wait, if I wanted a free-to-play mobile game, I would have got one. And nothing against free-to-play mobile games. It's just that you would get one of those if you wanted one of those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why do you you don't want that experience from Star Wars Battlefront 2 or something like that? You know, you paid that $60. You just want to experience as much of the game as you can, even with DLC involved. Like something like Marvel Spider-Man did a great job of that. But again, not every game franchise is going to be able to do that. So, you know, again, only relating it to games, not just because we talk about games so much, but also because it's just something that I'm seeing happening with multiple avenues of media. There's a lot of media. The prices aren't going down. In fact, they're going up. A lot of prices of a lot of stuff is going up. You can't just keep on releasing, you know, all these movies. There's going to be a lot of flops, even with stuff that, again, look at something like Toy Story 4. You know, if they don't meet the, I don't say the demand because it would be a lack of demand, but if they don't temper their expectations when it comes to the budget, you're just going to continuously get screwed. It sucks because it's
Flops.
yeah, it's not even a creator issue. That's what really sucks. It is an issue at the top where someone goes, well, Avengers did well, so then this has to do well. And it's like, no, not everything is a multiverse, B, a long-running franchise, and C, has to continue until we're old and gray.
Right. Yeah.
Not everything has to. Sometimes things end, and that's okay. And I understand it's hard to green light, you know, or green light new stuff. I get it. It's a risk. But you know what? 200 mil for this was definitely a risk, and it's interesting that more people didn't think it was a risk. At least within the industry.
Yeah. Right.
I'm talking about, you know, outside of us. Like, because as fans, I was like, this is risky. You know, initially.
I mean, me too, and I.
And you like it more than I do. And I love Toy Story, but you love it even more. And you were like, I don't know. And then here we are with this as a quote-unquote flop. But I want to hear what you guys think down below. Again, either in the chat or in the comments section. I want to hear what you guys have to say about Toy Story 4. Have you seen it already? Did you enjoy it? Spoiler free in the comments, but still, did you enjoy it? What do you guys think about this? And do you think you kind of agree with us with the idea that this being a flop is just hilariously dumb with how much money it actually made? Like, but again, tell me what you think down below.